All right. Welcome to GUFON, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano, and it is Thursday? Wednesday. Is it Thursday? I think it's Wednesday. It is. It's Wednesday. Holy crap. May 3rd, 2023. How are we? Hey, we got a really good show lined up tonight. I'm really excited to have Wayne from Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters coming on the show as a guest to go over his 2018 Michigan UFO sighting. But it's really a strange story only because I think in some weird, strange way, what's happening in Michigan may all have to do with the Great Lakes. I do. I think back in 94, then in 98, Wayne's friend Guy had a sighting that was unbelievable. And the 94 sighting was on Unsolved Mysteries, as I try to get the word out. And it made headlines. It was that crazy in 94. So having Wayne come on and talk about what he saw in 2018 can also be linked somehow to 1994. And who knows, maybe there's a ton of other things that Wayne can drop on us tonight that we don't know about in the great state of Michigan. Jeanette Angel with £10, 10 quid right at the beginning of the show. I appreciate that. Because we have guests, limited applause will go towards the super chats tonight. But mucho gusto, generoso, Jeanette Angel. And for the $25 Cash App, earlier in the day, you all can help support GUFON the same way we are supported by you, the viewer, the watcher, the listener, the doer. Super chat, super sticker, PayPal, Cash App, all the links are in the show description. You know what to do. And without further ado, you like that? I'm going to bring Wayne on from Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters. And also, just to let you guys know, we're doing a YouTube swap tonight, which means Wayne is having this show streamed live on his channel. How's that? And also on Facebook, on his Facebook, as we do on Twitter as well. So welcome, Wayne.
Hey, thanks, Richie, for having me on. Kind of last minute, but this is awesome, man. Good seeing you.
The first to the last minute. We're always working, right? Thanks.
Hey, better than never.
Yeah, that's true. And we were heading that way. I'm glad you said you can come on tonight. It's awesome. And should have done it sooner, but things happen and I'm lazy. And
it's been a very busy last 3 or 4 weeks or so, man, with the another UFO meeting down in DC.
The congressional hearing,
yeah. And so we just had on Raymond Szymanski, who wrote the book Swapcast My Ass, and man, he dropped some amazing information on us about what was going on at Wright-Patterson right after those meetings, about how the director of NSA, CIA, and all these people flew in to Wright-Patterson right by his house and had a huge meeting.
Wait, you mean before this last congressional hearing?
Right afterwards.
Right after, yeah, wow.
Yeah. I was going to try to clip that off of my interview with him that Michelle and I did. I was going to try to clip that and get that to you, but man, I just been so busy myself. You know how it is. So Wednesday
I do.
Night's available, man. But yeah.
Yeah, well, that's okay. We can always, that'll always be there. But I really like Michigan, and a lot of those states around that area have a lot of good sightings. And, I always heard that the Great Lakes were part of that. What do you think? I mean, you think that has anything to do? Is there a tunnel system going on? What have you found out?
What I have found out is I think this might go back to some of the work that like Randall Carlson and his group are doing, the Comet Impact Theory group, right?
Yes.
Michigan was under about 3 miles of ice here along the whole, top part of the northern United States, all the way from anywhere from like the base of Ohio, up to up to the North Pole was under huge amounts of ice, and then it quickly melted, and they call that the Younger Dryas time, right? About 12,500 years ago. And they just kind of chalk it up to that there was this huge flood and blah, blah, blah. And they just hand wave it. Well, the evidence is starting to show that Michigan at the, our great little thumb area, right? We're
Yes.
right. We can use our hand, but right here is Saginaw Bay. And they have pretty much determined that that was a site of a piece of this comet that came down and created a massive crater that forms that land feature in the Great Lakes on the east side of the state. And that threw up all kinds of material into the atmosphere, and it came down. Yeah, there you go. Look at that feature, the Saginaw Bay right there. See where it says Saginaw on the right-hand side?
Right.
Down, up, north of Lansing.
Oh, there right here.
Yep. Look at the feature.
Yeah, right here.
That land feature right there, that circular area, is very indicative of an impact crater.
Oh, wow. No way. This here? Yeah. Right in here?
Nope. Right there.
Or this?
That.
Okay.
So, with that being said, a lot of the Carolina bays, you know how those are oblong, kind of weird, like
Carolina bays.
Yeah, they're basically impact craters. Yeah, and they've traced them. If you draw a line and factor in the rotation of the Earth, most of the impacts on that side of the country came from Michigan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh, I got you. Yeah. Okay. That's crazy. I wonder why.
Yeah. If you pull up the Carolina bays and you look at the orientation of all those quote unquote little bays that they
right
found
here
with LiDAR and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was. Area. Yeah. I can imagine.
Impact craters.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yep. They're shallow impact craters.
From 12,005 or 800 years ago, whatever.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So because isn't that what Carlson said and the other guy, that it really smashed into the northern ice part here or whatever is up here, right?
Yeah.
Canada and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it melted the ice.
Disintegrating, what they believe is a disintegrating comet, that pieces of it are still in our orbit to this day. And twice a year we pass through that. And that's what gives us the Taurid meteor shower.
Oh, okay. That's right. I've heard that before. Yeah.
Yep. But some big chunks
interesting
through, and there you go. So I think it has something to do with that whatever these things are, maybe investigating how Michigan's environment and the whole environment of the northern United States has changed since that impact. So if they are quote unquote watchers or interested in what we're doing, that would be a good place to start. But then we've also had a lot of nuclear stuff in Michigan as well,
which a lot of people don't realize. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. One of the things that Raymond Szymanski found out was that when he was doing his research on the 1966, the famous swamp gas UFO incident here in Ann Arbor and Dexter area, that police were chasing these things around. We had fighter jets sent out after these things, and they said they picked them up on radar and then they just zipped away. And but the one thing that was going on at that time was that we were at the height of the Cold War, and so Michigan, being a huge automotive production and tank plants and things like that, they had set up a huge amount of Nike nuclear missile silos around the southeastern part of Michigan to protect the manufacturing of these tanks and things like that. And also, we had nuclear weapons on the base here in southeast Michigan that were being loaded onto aircraft that could fly over the North Pole and attack Russia with them. So, which they've all been moved and taken out now, of course, but that was discovered. So there's definitely a nuclear tie that could be hypothesized and talked about too. So there's a lot. I mean, there's so much you can, just throw shit at a wall and see what sticks at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it does. Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to say hi to Dorothy, my adopted mom out there. I see her saying hi. Hey, Dorothy, good seeing you.
Dorothy, and Dorothy's my big sister. Brian threw down $4. Thank you, Brian, for that. And Dorothy threw down $2. Great to see Wayne. Yeah. Way to go, Richie. Thanks, Dorothy. Thanks, guys, for the support.
Yeah, and everybody watching on Michigan UFO Sightings, if you're watching over there, make sure you hit the like button on our channel and then jump over to Richie's. I put the link down below in my show description. Jump over to Richie's and give him a like too. So
yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is such a cool feature. I don't know who I would use it with because Third Phase of Moon doesn't do live. Michael goes on, maybe I could do it Dark Hour, but there's not a lot of people.
Well, I was talking to Jared Murphy, he's a friend of mine as well, and we're working on some things together. And what I wanted to do was do like a huge chain letter of like myself, you, him, and Michael. Let's just get like us
as many as we can, really.
Yeah, and whoever else we could get to go and do just this huge live. And how
fun would that be?
People we could hit all at the same time. It'd be cool.
I would love that. Any day, anytime you let me know, I'm there. I want to see how it works. That'd be so cool.
Well, you're seeing it now, man. You are live on my two platforms as well right now. So
I tried another thing and I forget what it was, but
here. Hey, Michael.
Who's here?
Michael.
Yeah. He's here. Wild Ascension's here. I saw Guy's here.
Yep.
What's up, Guy? Scott. Everybody's hanging out tonight. Ragin, Glenn, Michelle, Anomalies, and The Real Deal. David Wilcox, Helen, Jeanette, and all the others. Diane Boss. Well, your sighting is different from the 94 sightings, but let's talk about your sighting and how that happened.
Yeah.
Because I'm interested.
That's how I got into all this stuff with my wife.
Is it?
Michelle, yeah.
Everybody, it's the same story I hear all the time.
I did not follow any of this UFO stuff before 2018.
Me neither.
It was a sci-fi, I was into some sci-fi stuff, but hey, that was it. But it was 2:30 in the morning. Michelle and I, who does the show with me generally, and we're driving home from a late night bingo. We liked playing bingo a lot. We go to casinos and stuff like that. But in the local area, about 12 miles away from our house, there was a bingo hall, and 2:30 let out. And I always like to call it full contact bingo because the old ladies in there just get vicious,
I know.
So I think Michelle mainly brought me along as a bodyguard because when you're not part of the crew that normally goes there and you win like $1,000 and they don't get it, the knives come out. Those little ladies with those big purses carry knives and machetes. So, but anyways,
they do. You're not kidding.
We leave. We're hyped up on coffee. We get out onto the main road that we have to take to go to the expressway. And we hang a left on this main road, 2:30 in the morning, but we're in northeastern Detroit or northwestern Detroit. So, it's still a lot of vehicles and stuff out at that time. Not a ton, but there's still plenty. And we're driving down the road and we get about maybe a mile from where we were going to get on the expressway, maybe 2 miles. I don't remember at this point, but I see these 3 bright white lights up above the road about 2 miles away by where the expressway is. And I looked at Michelle and I said, that looks like an airliner coming right at us. Cause I've got a background in flying and military and all this. And man, we're going and these lights were bright as can be. And I'm like, this thing's going to crash on the road right in front of us.
How high do you think it was?
Maybe a couple 100 feet at the most.
With 3 dots in a row, like a line?
Yep.
So it looked like an airplane. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was an airplane, because generally you see the 3 lights in a row. You got a light on the nose wheel and then the 2 on the wing up next to the fuselage. But I've never seen them this bright before. I'm like, okay, this thing's going to crash. We get closer to it. I'm driving. Michelle's next to me. She's got a little bit better vision than I do. And she looks and says, when did our military get something like that? As I get closer, I notice that it is a giant black triangle barely moving. And the nose of it, if I was, doing it like this, right? The nose was kind of tipped up. So right under it, right there, you could see the light in the nose shining bright as can be. And then at the points, at the, I guess, wings, were these huge bright lights. And this thing was low. I mean, it was at the tops of the buildings there. And I'm getting closer to it, and I'm like, okay, I'm not liking this too much. And I said, our military doesn't have anything like that. And I said, it's that big. It had to be about 300 feet aside. And I said, there's no way it could be hovering. And one thing I noticed is I looked down onto the ground, because there were cars coming. Yeah. A few cars. Nobody was stopping. Everybody was just driving. And I looked down on the ground, and I noticed that those lights, being as bright as they were not illuminating anything on the ground.
That's amazing.
Dude, I was like, what the hell's going on? How can they be that bright and not shining on the ground? And then in my head, this is the most twisted thing ever. Now, I was in the infantry. I jumped out of airplanes. I rappelled out of helicopters. I was an airborne assault infantryman. I was heavy weapons. I blew up tanks. That was my job. And that was all by the time I was 18. And I got this huge wave of fear. No, not fear. Terror that went through my body. And I heard a voice, and it said, you don't belong here. Get away. Get away. You don't belong here. And dude, I gunned it. I had to do a 360-degree on-ramp. And so I gunned it. And as I did that to get onto the ramp, I kind of leaned my head out the window to look up. This thing was basically right over us, maybe a little bit away, but I was able to look up, and I didn't see the sky above it. And the body of it looked like hot blacktop on a summer, like a 95-degree day.
Wavy,
with that mirage coming above the road. That's what the body of this thing looked like. And it looked like it was probably about 20 to 30 feet thick, like depth wise.
Yeah.
And so we go underneath it, right? And now we're heading away from it on the road, and I'm driving a big, heavy Jeep, right? It's not going anywhere too fast. So I'm driving it. Michelle's watching it out of the passenger window. The thing rotated and started moving parallel to us.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's when things got really freaky. And Michelle, it started to go further ahead of us. And Michelle saw the back of it. And when she did her MUFON report, she saw red, like rectangular lights in the back. I didn't see it because I was focused on driving and getting the hell out of
bricks.
They look like she described them as rectangles that were bright, like a bright red on the back. I think she said there was like 2 or 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
On the back side of this triangle.
Got it.
Like engines or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So,
oh wait, were they horizontal? Do you remember this way, vertical or horizontal?
They were horizontal.
So they were long ways.
They were long ways, yeah.
And they were just like dashes behind, like one behind, one after the other. Okay, got it. Yep. Now I got. Were there, other than the red lights, was there a white perimeter of lights around it, or was just the 3 red?
I think, Michelle, what it was? Oh, 2 red, 1 in each corner, like at the end of the craft.
So at the one back end of the craft, there was 2.
Yep.
Not 3.
Two.
Okay. And they went from one edge to the other edge, corner to corner. All right. And you're assuming that's the back end because of the direction it's moving.
Correct. And the way that it had rotated.
Yeah.
Now,
that's very, very detailed. That's good. Okay. And then, yeah.
Well, one of the things that I'm good at, I'm also a scientist and I'm a science teacher, is I'm good at making observations. And plus, I had to do, forward observations in the military. So I learned about taking very specific mental notes about figuring out how high something is, using your fingers to figure out degrees of, azimuth and what direction you're going, what time is it, what's the temperature like, da 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 da. So, and this was in March. This was March 18th of 2018. So we're driving. I'm pushing the Jeep as hard as I can, and we go down this sound abatement, and we lose sight of it because the sound abatement goes down, and they have walls built up along the expressway to absorb the sound in the houses that are up top and trees, things like that. We pop out on the other end, and I'm looking past Michelle thinking, okay, I'm going to see it. It's going to be over there. And it was gone. Like, it was just gone. She's like, it's gone. I can't see it either. So we
How much time passed?
Oh, dude, 3-4 seconds maybe.
Oh my God, that's it?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I was pushing it, and the sound abatement area was not that big at all. So we got home. We what did I say, Guy? Yeah, yours was okay. Me and Guy, and I'll get to this part of the story. Guy's sighting was March 18th, 1984 or 94. Ours was March 9th, 2018. So my dyslexia likes to click,
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, me too.
So we get home.
Both in March, though.
Yes.
Yeah, I like this. Reminds me of Phoenix, Arizona sightings were in March at one time. Go ahead. Yep.
So we get home. Oh, and I got another strange coincidence for you. I don't know if you saw our one show where we had Colin Saunders on, Triangular UFOs of the UK. He wrote that book.
Yeah.
His sighting was in March, and a good chunk of all of the triangular sightings in the UK that came to him were March, just different years.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we get home, we talk about it for a minute, and we're tired, exhausted. We crash. Boom. That's it. That's the end of it. We get up next day, just act like, yeah, no big deal. Don't think about it. Don't talk about it. We go a couple days, and then Michelle and I are sitting down. We go, we should see if anybody else saw what that was. Let's just start a Facebook group and put it out there. And it was a private Facebook group. So, I was expecting nobody. And then I started, wanting to join. And we started getting in these reports, not only of the triangle we saw that night. We probably got a good 3 or 4 people that said that they had seen it in different parts in that area. But not only that, we were getting all kinds of other things coming in as well at the same time. People seeing this light, this thing doing this, that, and the other. And so we were like, what the hell? So after collecting all of this data and talking to people and getting emails and Guy Merritt being one of them, we decided let's do a podcast and talk about it. And at least we can put our story out there and save it for the rest of the world to know that we saw this on March 9th of 2018. And, there you go. So that's why our first episode that we ever did, we call it episode 0, because if it was shit, just wasn't going to do another one and just leave it there and have at it. Well, then we started getting more emails in as people were seeing our show pop up and they were finding it here in Michigan. And then we heard from Guy. We eventually had Guy come on one of our shows, and then he was describing his thing, and that was 1994, March 18th.
Right. But did anybody see what you saw that night?
Yes.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. So we had confirmation coming in from people in that area.
Right on.
That saw something. Yeah.
Any pictures? Any evidence?
Nope, man. 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy thing that happened, and you can chalk this up to whatever you want to chalk it up to, And again, this is the same stuff. Our own story drives me crazy because neither one of us thought about grabbing a phone and
I
taking a
know.
picture. And
Yeah.
I couldn't. I was driving, so it was like I'm not messing around with anything. But none of us felt compelled to even think about get a picture of this, video it, something. But after I want to say about 4 months, I had finished out the school year teaching. I'm on summer break, and I start feeling weird. I start feeling like sick. Like something's not right. I go to the doctor. They don't know. So next school year starts. So I'm dealing with whatever's going on over the summer. The next school year starts. This is the 2018 September timeframe, August,
Okay.
September.
So it's like 6 months later. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm in the classroom and I'm getting ready to write on the board for my students. And I write and my hand's shaking.
Huh?
I can't even write. I started seeing things like weird stuff going on.
What?
So
Like what?
Just weird, like feeling constantly like watched, like paranoia, like I'm hearing things. It's hard to describe what the hell was going on.
Well, let's figure it out for a second. Okay, you were just going to finish saying?
Yeah, so I ended up going to the emergency room. It got so bad.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And they told me that they ran all these tests on me and drew blood and all this stuff. And I'm sitting in the ER for 8 hours. They come back and they say, we don't know what's wrong with you. You might have MS. We want to send you to a specialist. I'm like, what? And
why would they say that though?
They had no idea.
You don't know?
Because of the shaking and the weird things that were going on.
Some muscular degeneration of some sort. Got it.
Yeah. So I go home and I'm pissed. And that was one thing I noticed with what was going on in me was that I was angry as hell. I mean, I was like on fire that I was just ready to just punch people in the face. I didn't care. It was like insanity. And that's how I can describe it.
Did you say that you were having that fit of rage when you found out, or it was gradually getting worse over the months?
No, it was gradually getting worse.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Interesting.
It was getting worse because I think I was getting aggravated because I didn't know what was going on. And then I started school, went to the hospital. They did all this. I get pissed. I come home. I pull up my own blood work and I go through my blood work. And what do I find that they missed in my blood work? That my thyroid had turned on, like overactive. They call it.
Yeah, I have that. Right? Yeah, hyperactive.
Graves' disease, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah. So that's what I ended up finding out.
Oh right? Shit! So, you actually got that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah.
Well, here's the.
Jeez.
It just keeps getting weirder. So during that time, I was sick, right? And I'm agitated. I'm nervous. I didn't sleep for probably about 4 days straight during this, like, episode that was going on. In about 10 days, I had lost like 25 pounds and all of my beard that you see here, right? And all my hair turned white.
What in the world?
Yep. Because I went back to school after being out for 2 weeks after they started treating me for my thyroid and put me on some heavy meds to get my levels normal.
Yeah.
My T3 and T4 serums were through the freaking roof.
Holy fuck.
And I was like, and that's why I was so angry and stuff. I was hyped up. I mean, my metabolism was turned on like nothing. I went back to my students who I'd only seen for about a week and a half. I went back to them and they were like, what the hell happened to you, man? All your hair is white. You were not that way when you were here at the beginning of the year. So whatever happened triggered this thing in my thyroid and caused my pituitary gland then to basically shut down, so my thyroid would just kick on. And the doctors, then said, well, congratulations, you're one of only a few men that get Graves' disease. And usually you guys get hypothyroidism and gain a bunch of weight and get really sleepy, and we have to remove your thyroid and things like that. But you won the $1 million prize. You have Graves' disease and you have hyperthyroidism. So now we got to calm you down.
Jesus.
And so that was just like on top of everything else, it was weird,
But here's another weird thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happened to Michelle, or did it?
Nope. But I was also the one that got the closest to it, because I was able to go
just a couple of feet, though. Yeah,
but a couple of feet, right? But I was also the only one that heard a voice in my head. She did not.
That's one thing I wanted to ask you about. This voice, did it sound electric, like an electric voice or a regular voice?
I honestly, I don't know. It wasn't my own voice, and it just sounded like a normal, loud voice. You don't belong here. Get away. You don't belong here.
Yeah.
And the fear that came with that was crazy. I mean, I had never felt anything like that. And that's after jumping out of airplanes and helicopters and stuff. I never felt that level of terror.
Wow.
So that was our story of what happened. And then we put that out there, and we put it out on the Mutual UFO Network. We put it out on the National UFO Reporting Center. And well,
what about now? How have you been dealing with your sleep? Has that gotten better? And are you dreaming about aliens?
Not dreaming about aliens, but pretty much every other night, and I take screenshots of this on my phone, I wake up at 3:33. That's why I send you $3.33.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
My sleep is irregular at best. I mean,
was it always irregular?
Nope. Mm-mm.
See, mine wasn't either until I started seeing stuff. But then I thought maybe it's because I'm too excited and can't sleep and just want to be outside all the time. I don't know.
Right.
But, even now it hasn't changed. But so I was listening to the story, and it's got a lot of detail in it. And then you getting sick reminded me of what happened to me. But not from that, but from like a demonic sort of attachment from the Ouija board. You know that story.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So these things happen, but we don't know why they're happening. Was it a coincidence that I got sick right after I had that attachment and you got sick right after you had the sighting? I'm not so sure everything can be blamed to coincidences, because it happens so often to people we don't even know, and people who have a lot to lose and have reputations and high status.
Yep.
Have you told your friends about this?
Yep.
Oh, shoot. What'd they say?
I'm completely honest with them. And you know what happens as a high school teacher, especially a science teacher?
Oh, right. Yeah.
I don't believe any of this shit.
You don't what?
I don't believe any of this shit.
Oh, gotcha.
I believe this shit. And that's how messed up you get.
Right.
All right.
That's exactly what I say all the time. It's like, I don't even want to believe my own stuff.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I don't know how else to put it, but here's what's funny, dude, is that I worked now in two different schools. I'm back at my original school that I started with, and I've talked to people about it. When nobody else is around, there's a knock at my classroom door. Hey, can I tell you something? Yeah, man, what's up? You're not going to believe this. Let me guess, you saw something, man. You're not going to believe this.
Okay.
And so I get those people coming to me at work.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
That's nice. I like that. That makes me feel good because you're the guy they could talk to.
Yep.
They need you.
And so that's where the podcast and the idea of us doing a
Yeah.
podcast really came from, was we want to get people to come and talk to us. So number one, we can be a little selfish and try to figure out what the hell is this? Because we have no background in this, man. I'm a science guy.
The
Michelle's
best. Yeah.
a master's degree English teacher of middle school for 23 years.
Wow.
We weren't into this stuff at all, but we want to figure out what the hell was this, and can we help somebody by getting their story out there and let people connect and compare notes, and we can go back through these things and look and see people's stories and start making connections. And that's what actually happened when we had Guy Merritt come on. He made a connection with two other people that were listening to our podcast, even that early on, and come to find out that the synchronicities between two of them, and our one friend, Ed, he's recently passed away.
Oh.
But Guy saw a black triangular UFO driving to work on March 18th, 1994.
Right.
And on that same day, another guy in Port Huron, which is quite a few miles away from Flint, saw a black triangle that morning while he was on the road going to work. Lo and behold, that night, that same guy and Guy Merritt were at the same club because Guy played in a band, and Ed remembered the band because he said that he walked up to the band and said, "Hey, can you guys play Wipeout?" And the guy that answered him from the band, the drummer, keyboard, I don't know who it was, looked at Ed and said, "Sorry, man, we don't know the words." Right? Messing with him. And so that triggered Ed to remember that he was there that night.
That's insane.
Where Guy was. And
that's insane.
This is a place called Imlay City, which is nowhere near Flint and nowhere near Port Huron. They were just both at this same bar, and they didn't know each other. They didn't talk to each other that night.
Oh my God.
And then they reached out to each other on our Facebook. And
how could that be?
How? Right. Exactly.
I
think after we talked about this, after we stopped recording our show, I think I just looked at Michelle and I threw the microphone on the floor and I said, "I'm done."
You've seen it all. It's over.
I was like, how do you make sense of this stuff?
Just what we're doing now. We try to talk it over. That's it.
Yep.
Right. I did want to thank Chris Rogers for throwing down a £5 super chat. Says it's a question. Or is it? Do you think there's a paranormal link with black triangles? My sighting left me feeling scared, fearful. Wow, really, Chris? That sucks. I've only had one experience where I felt a little of that, but you guys have seen something and felt something, and you heard a voice, Wayne.
Yeah.
Chris, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. And sorry.
Do you want to? Whatever it was scared the living shit out of me.
When I had
scared, I was.
And the only thing I can relate to being scared from a voice was when I woke up from what I say is a dream. Some people think I was abducted. When I heard, "I'll be in your head before you wake up." And when I did the voice for my wife and I told her it was, I go, "Oh my God, that's me." That was my voice. I was trying to change my voice so I wouldn't recognize me because I was doing something to me. And I'll be in my own head before I wake up. How could that be a dream? That's too real. That's too perfect. I'll be in your head. Well, why does my ear hurt? You'll be in my head. Holy crap. Thanks, Chris. You know what I mean, Wayne? This is why I'm going insane with this subject. Shoot, man, I'm talking 15 years ago and it feels like yesterday. I can't imagine.
exactly. This was 5 years ago for us, and I still, I can recall every detail, man, and that voice. I swear to God, never heard anything like it.
Was the craft smooth?
It was the body of the craft was like mirage, like I couldn't see the skin.
Okay,
right?
so
It looked like it was black. It blocked out the sky. Couldn't see anything up above it, and it wavered. Man, it was doing this.
It's like vibrating. It's got to be the propulsion of it or something,
or whatever radiation or whatever was being kicked off, or what. I mean, I don't know, a cloaking device that was turning off. I mean, you know, Colin Sanders has some theories about that these are interdimensional craft, and when they pop in, they cause condensation around them, which looks like a cloud. And that's basically like what he saw. And, you know, we were comparing notes on my show.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, dude, this is crazy. And, you know, and what's strange about our triangle is that our triangle, and I know I've seen the comments about TR3B, and I don't buy it. If it was ours, we would have seen it by now. It would have been used by now. That's all bogus bullshit. I'm sorry, but it is. Our triangle did not have that glowing light in the center. Guys did. Guys had a red glowing light, and Collins had red glowing lights in the corner with a bright white light in the middle. And so, yeah, even guys in chat right now saying it's all bullshit. Yeah.
I'm pulling up my own TR3B sighting. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I think I did.
From February 2004.
Yeah.
But now,
pull that bad boy up.
It's going to take me a second, but so in your situation now, how's yours compared to what they saw in 94?
All right. So in 94, and what's interesting, if anybody wants to see what was going on here in Michigan in 1994, get on Netflix and go watch Unsolved Mysteries, and you'll see the show or the episode called Something in the Sky. And it has Jack Bouchon, who was a National Weather Service radar operator, on there as basically the main star of it, with Bill Konkoleski, who is the Michigan MUFON director here in Michigan, talking about this sighting. And these sightings were UFO light, like saucer objects moving along the west coast of Michigan, almost like they were looking for something, and they were tracked by Jack on radar. And he was not even aware of what was going on until the 911 dispatcher called him and got him connected to the sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
Following these things along the road, because people were calling into 911 seeing these craft flying around, and they started pursuing them along the west coast of the state until they went out over Lake Michigan. And that was 94 on the west side of the state. On the east side of the state during 1994 of March, we have Guy Merritt and other witnesses to the black triangles. So on the east side of the state, these triangles were moving and doing bizarre things, being seen by small children who described them in the Flint Journal paper as large as a city block flying over the road. Right, this 14-year-old boy, and he told his mom, and they called the newspaper asking them if there was something going on, and they took the story and released it. Guy saw it. Ed saw it in 94. Other people have said that they've seen it in 94 on our website, on our Facebook group. So the 1994 thing that gets a lot of coverage is the west side of the state because of radar data, because of Jack Bouchon and what they were doing to shut him down. And he basically had to move out of Michigan to keep a job in the National Weather Service because they didn't want him talking about it. But he could tell that they were not airplanes. He was that good of a radar operator. He knew it wasn't planes going into Chicago O'Hare. It was these weird objects that were giving weird radar returns that went out over Lake Michigan. And one of the weirdest things, and you know, Richie, you said you think the Great Lakes have something to do with this.
Oh yeah.
There was a couple that was camping on the edge of Lake Michigan in the wintertime. They do that stupid stuff here. We're crazy here in Michigan. But they were on the coast and they saw one of these craft come over them and go out into the lake and start drawing water up out of the lake like a water spout.
Yes.
And they made that report. And I mean, come on. If you're being powered by nuclear propulsion or something, you need kind of coolant. Cold, fresh lake water.
That is interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Yep. So if you need some kind of coolant, you need some good clean water, and it's got to be cold.
That's crazy. I didn't even think of that.
Mm-hmm.
I have the sighting here. My supposed triangle sighting. I think it's an airplane. The only reason I'm showing it because everybody else says it's a TR-3B. End of story. There's no sound. Wait a second. Something's going on. It won't give me the all right, this is the best I can do, I guess. See if this works.
Looks like
See? Yeah, it's not working. See what I have to deal with? I can't get rid of these on the side.
Oh.
These pop-ups. Nobody can help me. I don't know why it doesn't work. I don't know why StreamYard's not giving me the right.
Can you drop your video into a Chrome tab and then share the Chrome tab?
No, it's an MP3. I should just be able to open up the window and play it.
They changed something with StreamYard where it doesn't work right anymore.
Yeah, I can see
I found
that.
the hard way.
This is terrible. Hold on. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I contacted StreamYard support, and they said, open up a tab in Chrome and then drop your MP4 video file into the tab and then share the tab.
You can't.
Yeah, you can.
How?
The tab, just open up a blank tab and grab that file and drop it right on it. It'll
bullshit.
Yep, I've done it, dude. I tested it because I was like, you guys are pissing.
Yeah, watch here. I'll show everybody live. That will not work. Ready?
Yeah.
So these are the blank tabs, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to pull up this file, show in folder. Okay, I got it. Strange lights. Here it is. I'm dropping it.
Okay.
It didn't work.
Open the tab. Click on that plus sign.
Yeah. All right. Now grab it.
Now drop it up at the URL. Let's see if this works.
Let's see. If this works, I'm excited. If it doesn't work, I'm still the same me. Nope.
Right there.
No.
Hit it. Hit it. Hit enter.
I did. There you go.
Wow. Dude, it's not working with you.
I know. Nothing works with me.
Dude.
But I had it. I have it right here. I can just pull it up and do that. Now it's working. It didn't before, but you won't hear. But anyway, here it is.
All right.
See the green light too?
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. Why aren't they flashing though?
Why aren't they flashing? They should have.
There it goes, right past the star. Did you see that?
Yep.
Watch. See the star go by? Here it comes. Oh. There it goes.
There it goes. So that thing's moving.
Yeah. So why isn't it flashing?
There should be flashes at about 1.4 seconds.
Nothing. And the airplanes you hear are not that airplane. There's an airplane above me too. See, that's how airplanes look. They do, really. But everybody, are you moving it too? Why is see that cursor going crazy? Do you see it?
Dude, I
on the
think somebody
screen.
has hacked you, man.
Nah,
Yeah, I'm telling you.
unhackable.
Unhackable?
Let them. They're not going to get anything here.
Because that's weird, man.
But that's the sighting.
No, that's pretty good.
It is, but it isn't. Because it looks so much like an airplane. Red and green lights with white. Come on. What else is it? Why aren't they flashing?
See, that's just the thing. If that wasn't a true aircraft, it would always have those strobe lights on. Once a plane gets on the runway, it turns on strobes. It's got to.
Anomalies has said the cursor thing, that's been happening. Cursed cursor. Yeah. Well, we are streaming to 4 places tonight, so there is going to be some weirdness. Let me see something here. I got to get rid of some starred up stuff. People are sending in some super chats as we speak. Lisa, can we all meet somewhere in the middle of Michigan for a CE5? Yeah, who's paying for it?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll do it right now. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I am going to see Nathan in 2 days. Nathan from the Quantum Show. I'm going down to Fort Myers, and we're going to go, I believe, to the game. I don't know what kind of con it is. We're going to a con.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
hopefully
it'll be
not a furry con, man.
No, I wish it was, though. I've never been to one of those. This one here, let's see. This one that we're going to. Here it is. It is called. No, it doesn't matter. We're going. I can't find it right away. Oh, here it is. Fort Myers Saturday.
Hey, it's Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio sending you $6.99 Canadian.
Dave Scott's here?
Yep. What's up, Dave?
Hey, thank you, Lisa. And the answer is absolutely. Spaced Out Radio throwing down $6. We just rounded up here. $7 Canadian coin with the letter G for GUFON. Giordano Guy. Thanks, Dave. Spaced Out Radio, SOR. You know what they do, Wayne? They own the night.
Yeah, that's right.
Thanks, Dave. They own that night, and they smacked it, flipped it, and rubbed it down.
Metalhead is asking, how can I contact you? All right. Well, Metalhead, you can email me, and I'll put it, I don't know where you're watching this from, so I'm going to put it in this chat here. It's mi.ufo.podcast@gmail.com. Hopefully that goes to, yeah, there you go. All right. So, yeah, if anybody wants to email their sightings to us, we'll take a look at them for sure. And I'll get my my English teacher wife, who's a speech teacher as well. She'll read them because I suck at reading.
Nah, we're just guys. We hate to read.
That's true.
Did you? Oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
1994?
Nah, I forgot. Okay, I remember. I honestly think you and your wife were taken and put back. When you heard the voice, you won't know it because they did it without you knowing. That's how quickly they could move. They took you and put you back around that time when they said, don't be alarmed. Boom, you were gone. Then you were put back. And then he said, again, we were not going to hurt you. Something like that's how quick it happens. But in between those two bookends was about a half hour of missing time. Did you have missing time?
No.
You add that to the story, mister.
Nope.
Do 45 minutes. 45 minutes sounds legit. If you do an hour, it's too regular. 45 minutes. Or you can go Travis and say you were gone for a week. That is amazing.
But I will tell you this, when we were driving, Michelle, we were getting closer to it. Michelle put the window down on her side of the Jeep, and I was going slow to get on that on-ramp, and she's like, it's not making any noise. And you figure something that's the size of a football field hovering above, the building you're very close to, like right there, would be making some kind of noise, and there was no sound at all.
Yeah.
So
No, you would definitely hear it. If it was like a hovercraft or something like that, man-made, you would hear it.
yeah. Well, see, but then again, Richie, here's the thing: anecdotal experience, man, it pisses me off to no end. Right?
That
All we have is our story, and we got, people that have sent in their same sightings and stuff, and it's like, would I believe me if I wasn't me? And it's like, I don't know.
we want to.
Yeah,
We
sure.
You looked like you were telling the truth. I didn't see any deception other than when you mentioned your age. You were like, no,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
kidding. I'm joking. But for the most part,
49.
you're 49?
No, I'm 53, bro.
You're 53? Jesus, you look like you're in your 30s. Holy crap. Good for you.
Maybe they did take me, man.
I'm telling you, they took me. Look at me. I'm 90.
Well played, sir. Well played.
That's what I do. I think, so how many people have you gathered throughout your research with this, your sighting, with yours?
Us specifically, I want to say that we've probably talked to and contacted or been contacted by about 10 people from that same night in different parts of the state that had seen the same thing.
Did anybody mention seeing any aliens? Nothing. Just pretty much what you saw?
Yep. And I'm going to put this out there. I do have somebody that's contacted me who, when he retires from his very sensitive, secretive kind of job, he wouldn't tell me. I'm guessing it's military or something like that here in Michigan. He wants to come on and tell his story because he's seen these things multiple times. And it was in the same area where we saw it, a little suburb of Canton, Michigan. It's just a suburb of Detroit. It's very congested and stuff. But
how far is Ohio from Michigan again? I forget. Not that far, right?
Well, we're where we are at. We're only about 20 miles from the Ohio border. We're right by Detroit Metro Airport.
Do you know, I think Ohio and Michigan are the most underrated UFO town, city, states, whatever, on the map. You guys over there get so much weird stuff, and you get the underground booms and strange lights shit that comes from the lakes. It's a hub over there, man.
It is. And with the booms and we get small earthquakes here all the time, because remember I was telling you about, and being an earth science teacher, this is something I studied. We were under 3 miles of ice, and Michigan, our bedrock in Michigan is pushed down like this. This is why we're called the Michigan Basin. We look like a bowl.
Yeah.
Well, since that ice has been gone, what's happening is what's called isostatic rebound. And the bedrock wants to come back like this.
That's
and
crazy.
It moves, pop.
Oh.
And it will mess with your head here, because you'll look outside and you'll hear a rumble. You think, what the hell's going on? And then it'll just stop. And it's that leveling of the bedrock coming back up. Yeah, it's really weird, man.
I learned that from Randall Carlson too. It's hard for me to say his name.
Yeah. I'm going to go hang out with him in June.
That's crazy cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad you are. I like the other guy too, Graham Hancock.
Yep. He's not going to be at that summit. There's been some drama and skullduggery that has taken place, and him and Jimmy Corsetti have left the Cosmic Summit.
What can you say what happened?
It has something to do with how Jimmy and Graham think they were basically being ripped off.
Always money.
Oh, always money.
It's called a Hero Con is where we're going.
Oh, Hero Con. There you go.
Yeah, I'll meet Nathan for that, the Hero Con. Mr. Catfish throwing down a dot. See the dot?
Yep.
Yeah, almost trying to sneak that by, but I see it.
So that's not a dono.
No.
Because there's a dot there.
It's a dough dot. It's a dough dot.
Wait a minute. Is that an infamous dot? Should we take a picture of that and send it in?
I'll screenshot it. Why not?
All right.
Here we go. Ready? 3, 2. Wait, where is it? Here it goes. Screenshot.
There you go.
I did it.
Yeah.
Thanks for the dough dot, Mr. Catfish. $2 for the dough dot. Thank you for the support.
Where's
oh my God.
$2?
Yeah. What was that movie?
With the undead paper boy screaming.
That was the paper boy, right? What movie was that? One Last One.
Oh man, I don't remember. Somebody will know in chat. They're screaming right now.
It had John Cusack was the actor, I believe.
Yeah.
I can't believe I remember. I want my $2. And at the end, he's getting him down, going down a ski slope after him or something?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So I really do. Honestly, you won't know this now, but you're going to have another experience sometime in the future. Don't know when. And then you're going to question whether you were abducted or not. Like, I don't think I was.
Better off dead.
Oh, fantastic. Thank God. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you, but
no, that's worth it.
From my Facebook group sent that in.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. I see. Abe Froman said it too. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, Facebook user said it. I see that. Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Facebook user, over on Michigan UFOs and Paranormal Encounters channel page. Yes. I do.
I don't want another one, man. I do, but I don't. I don't know.
So the reason I think that's going to happen to you, you remind me of the situation I was in. When I was married, my wife never had dreams, never anything. Like, it was even, we'd be standing next to each other. I'd see something and she wouldn't see it. And then I'd show her, look, it's on the camera. So it's really weird. As soon as me and my wife broke up and I left, everything stopped for me. I almost feel like you're in that situation. Like your wife, they may want her eggs or they may want something from her and you as well. Maybe your spermatozoids and stuff like that. And it's very, very interesting. I'm not saying you have to do it, but maybe for science, if you left your wife, I wonder if you would still experience anything or would it all stop? I mean, you're not having continual stuff happen to you, are you? No. It was like a one-off, right?
Well, here's the thing, and chalk this up to whatever you want, but since we had this sighting and we've done this podcast now and talking to people, now turning it into a live show, man, we've had so many stories and connections with people from doing this show. And I've been told many times that the reason we even had that sighting was to start the show, to get people talking, because
thank you.
You're talking about Michigan and Ohio being hotbeds for this stuff. Well, Project Blue Book did a real nasty number on Michigan during that Michigan swamp gas incident in 1966. So much so that all conversation here stopped when they were like made fun of in front of the national, news club or whatever it was at the time. And Hynek was saying it was swamp gas and then just basically dismissed it. And I know Gerald Ford, who later became president, was so incensed by it that they pushed for that very first congressional hearing on UFOs.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep. And then Gerald Ford became president. But because everybody felt like, hey, our government is telling us we didn't see this shit and they're basically making fun of us, screw it. And I never even knew about the Michigan UFO thing. I've lived here basically my whole life, except when I was in the military. I never knew anything about that 66 thing until I was watching Phenomenon on Amazon Prime. And they talked about it. I was like, holy,
that's crazy.
That was here. And I started digging. And sure as shit, that's what I was finding out. Like, oh my God, everybody was basically shut up. You want to get a whole population to stop talking about something? Just tell them they're all crazy.
Yeah.
They won't talk.
I don't know if we continue talking about nothing happened with your friends, right? Your friends didn't alienate you or anything like that?
No.
Okay. I wanted to thank Elizabeth. I forget that they go through PayPal too. I'm sorry, Wayne. Yes. I don't know, Elizabeth. I'll have to check on the email, but I think I got it, but I don't think I replied yet. Thank you for the $5, and the $10 from PayPal is from Marvin in the chat room. Like Marvelous Marvin, I believe he goes by now. So thank you for that $10. I hope you're still here to thank you. I appreciate it. And we just got a new member, DB Property Maintenance.
Okay.
It says he became a YouTube member, but if you look on the my channel, it says you became a member of Truthology for ufology. So why it doesn't transfer over properly to StreamYard is annoying. And $20 just for the hell of it. Unbelievable. Now that's a super dono right there, Wayne.
Yeah, that's super. Yeah,
that's a super. There's a lot of love coming from DB Property Maintenance. Thank you very much. Appreciate this.
And just so people, if they want to share the love with us over on our channel, here's a link to our link tree where you can find our merchandise store.
Oh, that's right.
T-shirts and stuff. If you want to make a donation, our PayPal is there. We're not at the 1,000 mark, so we can't get super chats, which is okay. We're not in this for the money, but so hey,
no, who's in it for the money, Wayne?
Do you want me to start listing names?
Yeah. No, don't.
Let's see. I'm not going to mention any names, but I'll mention some initials like Jeremy Corbell. Oh, wait a minute. Did I say that?
And how about the initials, George Knapp?
Yeah.
Those guys are definitely in it for the money. I don't care what anybody says. How do you feel about that?
Being a new person into this and just trying to take everything in, and Michelle and I talking about this stuff and going back and forth and doing our full-time jobs, teaching and dealing with 140 kids a day. I ignore it. I try to focus on our stuff as much as possible. And Lisa says she's got a Michigan coffee mug. And yes, I still have Richie's. This is what they look like. So Richie will be getting his at some point. But yeah, we got these awesome coffee mugs right there if you want one. So
I love coffee mugs. I have an alien girl one, and that's
shameless
it.
Plug.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard, living paycheck to paycheck. So gotta watch. But anyway,
yep.
I still think you were. Maybe you don't believe it, and it's hard to believe. Yes, I know. But is it really hard to believe? Look at how long aliens have been in culture. For as long as man has been around, they've been talking about stuff in the sky. It can't all be clouds and birds, or can it?
Could it be balloons before there were balloons? I mean,
No, you're right.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm more into, and Michelle agrees with me, we're more into finding out what's going on now and moving forward and trying to figure these things out and seeing where these intersections are happening between ancient technology and UFOs and the recent past of where we got radar data and stuff like that and witnesses that have come forth. But again, it's like, it's anecdotal evidence, man. And for a science guy like me, who's very materialistic when it comes to this kind of stuff, not having a piece of that craft or something, man, I don't know. I know what you're saying, Richie. And I don't believe we were abducted or anything, because I don't remember any missing time or having any issues. But something definitely medically happened to me. So,
and if I feel that happened, then it's possible. We just don't know. I think if you ever do have another encounter, something will be revealed to make you feel that maybe that is possible. It's just something it happens to all of us. That's why anybody who's seen something, they usually see something down the road to reconfirm what they saw or change their lives forever. I know this did, right? I know it changed your life, right?
Yeah, I mean, why am I talking to you right
Right.
now?
Exactly.
Where else would we have some type of intersection where we would have met? Now that's what's really weird when it comes to this stuff. Because like Ed and Guy from 94 actually had that intersection before the whole UFO thing happened that day. So they met and then they had the UFO experiences.
I know, that's an incredible
evening. So
that's just a crazy coincidence, you know. It's like maybe they were put together, or maybe this has already happened and it's just happening again. And you know, we live in such a weird, I think the world is more paranormal than normal. It's just we can't see everything that's going on.
I agree with you on that.
Imagine if we had X-ray vision or infrared or anything else you can imagine on the spectrum. Everything could be right here next to us. We don't even know it. It's weird.
Yeah.
What do you believe about why the aliens came here? And I'll explain where I want you to go. Do you think they came here when we started igniting the bombs? Do you think that triggered a reverberation through all the universes because all those dimensions felt the shock waves, as according to Greer and others? Do you believe in that?
No.
Me neither.
Because they were here before that.
That's what I thought.
However, I am of the belief, because there is a lot of evidence of ancient technology and ancient civilizations being pretty advanced, and they may have attracted them way before our little resurgence as high-tech humans, right? I'm thinking 80,000 years ago, there was a very advanced civilization of humans using very strong technology, and then what got passed down as religion and story was the wars that wiped most of us out. And that's scientifically proven, that there was a super volcano in Indonesia called Mount Toba that exploded and basically wiped all the humans off the face of the planet down to about 10,000 mating pair. They know this from genetic testing. And we had to reboot again. And I think after that is where we started to grow back and we started to get our technology back. And then the Younger Dryas happened.
And kicked us in the
end.
Jesus.
So there's been extinction events on this planet, and we've squeaked by every single one.
What about Atlantis, do you think, was it part of that?
Yeah.
12,500 years ago, huh?
Yep. And I also think Atlantis wasn't one single place.
No, I don't either.
It was a kingdom.
Yes, it was. Have you seen A Way of the Water yet, Avatar?
No. You said it was good, though. So
it is really good.
Yeah,
it's better than good. It's great, actually. I saw it in 3D, and then when I saw it again just a couple of weeks ago, it was better the second time. But yeah, it reminds me of that. That's why I brought up Way of Water.
Yeah.
Anyway, just different cultures and different ways. I mean, we're all the same, but we're different. Maybe thousands of 80,000 years ago, there was no metal or anything. They used everything from the earth somehow, right? Isn't that kind of what they used? I mean, we don't see any structures of any metal, nothing being dug up that's 20, 40, 80,000 years old. That's a metal, skyscraper still underground. Nothing.
Well, none of that. If there was a massive calamity that happened, none of that stuff would be around anyways.
What?
Yeah. No metal.
No, wait. What about the foundations and underground subway systems and things like that?
No, that stuff would all rust if it's not taken care of. It would disappear.
But not altogether. Some of it would have to. Imagine a 100-story building. I mean, that can't just disappear in 80,000 years without any footprint.
You think of what would happen with a catastrophe such as, basically the whole biomass of the planet being on fire. If you had any kind of structures, they would be destroyed. And then give it a couple hundred years, give it 1,000 years, there wouldn't be much of anything left at all.
I really don't know. Yeah, I've seen that TV show,
Life Without Humans or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's based on if there wasn't a calamity like a nuclear holocaust or something. Yeah,
I mean, we've seen these things falling out of the sky, over like Chelyabinsk, Russia, right?
2012,
Imagine something like that if it was over LA. Let's just say something like that blew up over LA, 5-10 miles up in the atmosphere, blows up. It would flatten that city. That's how powerful that.
Oh, right. Yeah, man. No doubt.
So everybody got lucky again.
That was pretty intense what happened. I believe it was 2012, around that time.
Yeah.
It was a while ago. I can't believe it's been that long, 10 years at least.
Yeah.
Well, that's about it. I guess we could wrap it up here. I don't know what else to ask you. You pretty much went over it all, unless you want to add anything.
Nothing really. People can catch our show on Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Yeah.
Saturday at 8 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Just once a week now, right?
Once a week, yeah.
Saturday. That's a good time.
Yeah.
It's a really good time.
We got a ghost hunter and UFO hunter who's supposed to have some really good evidence to show us and put out there live. So we're going to do that. His name is Les Durant. So he says he's got ways of filming these things and is going to show us how to do it. And then your favorite guys are coming on. Third Phase of the Moon, May 13th.
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I cannot wait to talk to these guys. May 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern.
And just to make one small, don't take it the wrong way. It's a very big but small correction. It's Third Phase of Moon.
Did I say
not the moon? Yeah.
Damn it.
Everybody does it. I still do it.
I was so good at catching people saying third phase of the moon.
You overthought. I do it all the time. I have to stop myself sometimes. I'm like, third phase of moon.
That guy's fault right there.
It is his fault. I would blame him. He's to blame for everything.
I think so.
All right.
He's the new white man.
Oh, shit. Well, that solved my problem then. And I was going to talk about that too.
Well, I'm waiting for to dump some mice on my head here any minute.
Oh, I can't believe that.
That was crazy, man. Come on.
That's disgusting.
Only in New York. See, nothing like that happens here in Detroit. I mean, it's as bad as it is, but man, everybody's usually pretty cool around here. So, yeah.
Only in New York, man.
Higher population density, so you have a higher chance of getting more crazy people.
Everybody's like right on top of each other, and it's like everywhere you go, you gotta
but if you get on an airplane and fly from New York City to LA, most of the stuff that you fly over is empty because we're all in cities.
Isn't that wild? Yeah. There's so much land out there we don't even use.
Huge,
it's crazy. Well, they say you can fit the entire Earth's population side by side in Texas.
Yep, with room to spare.
Wow. That's insane. That's 8 billion people.
Yep. I wouldn't want to do it, but,
Well, I appreciate you coming on and sharing.
Yeah, man.
Do you want to hang out, or I'm just going to talk for a few minutes and just button up some things?
Yeah, cool. Go for it. And everybody watching from my channel, once Richie ends his live, then the show on my channel will end as well. So,
I'll just end it. We'll just do it because you're going live too. So we'll do that. We'll just end it.
That's fine, man.
Okay.
Fine, dude. Close things up. So,
I will.
Jeanette Angel, what is she saying here? I see amazing shows tonight. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jeanette.
Amazing shows with both of you, and I hope you both do it again. We will.
Yeah, and to Jeanette's point, and Richie and I were talking earlier, this is awesome that StreamYard has put this in its features to allow us to share streams. So any guest we have on, if they have their own channel, they can stream right to it as well.
Is that not the coolest thing?
That is the coolest thing.
Check it out.
I would rather pay money for, and I don't want to say this, I don't want them to put it behind a
See, there we are.
And I don't want to say this, I don't want them to put it behind a
That's so weird.
You're seeing yourself in the future.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was so weird. Look at it. Oh my God, I look like that. That was fun. I'm glad that we tried it out. Now we know it works.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
and
pretty
I've done
cool.
This with a couple other live streams like Jared Murphy over at Not Aliens. And, it worked really well. We were really surprised. Like, because Jared was definitely like, this is not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, let's try it. And sure as shit, it worked.
That's what I would say. I'm like, yeah, right. But it worked. It worked really well.
Yeah, but would you rather pay for that feature working, Richie, or would you rather pay for that green room? Why do they charge extra for the green room?
I don't know. If you have a lot of guests and they're popping in and you want to talk to them without the audience hearing, how often is that going to happen? Zero. It's a silly, silly thing. Yeah. Silly. But it's good if you run a very professional thing and you actually have 6 or 7 guests every day or whatever.
You know what?
If
you're doing a webinar to 300 people using this, then that would be cool to have your guest backstage in that room being able to talk together and things like that. So,
and you can have a producer, somebody help you out and talk to them and say, okay, it's going to be 2 more seconds. Ready? Go.
Yeah.
Very good.
Oh, yeah. And Richie, I did want to say to you, because I know when Michelle and I do our lives, I have heard basically doing the chat room and stuff and trying to monitor things, and she's taking notes while I'm talking a lot to people, but you do all this single-handedly, and I don't know how you can do it. I've tried it before. It drives me crazy. And but hats off to you, man, for being able to do this on your own. So, and keep it entertaining and funny. So,
well, I'm grateful for everything you just said, because every day feels like my last. So, it does. And it could be. Who knows what YouTube's going to do. I got it. I finally got that fly.
Yeah.
But, it gets easier. And I really wish I could have somebody do something. Like I used to have Coral Ann.
Right.
And then Coral Ann, would do something and I'm like, let's not do that again, and it's just if you have somebody that's on the same wavelength as you and knows when you're to stop talking and when you're going to start. And that's what's tough, to find somebody who knows how lingo works well and knows when to put stuff up. It's not something that you can just do after a few shows. People get seasoned at this stuff after years and they make it look easy. That's all that happened with me. I've been doing this for a long time and it's all fake. I'm fake. Everything about me's fake. I'm not even here right now.
You're AI, man.
No, I'm not. I'm the OG AI. I'm OG AI Giordano. No,
AI
it's fun.
Version 1.
AI, yeah, I am one. Soon to be number 2. All right. Thank you very much for coming on, man.
Yeah, man, it was great. Thanks for having me on and telling our story here of crazy Michigan. And
I love it. And go check out Wayne Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters. Wayne and Michelle. Thanks, Wayne, for coming on. And maybe I'll have Guy on by himself.
Yeah.
I was just thinking I'd like to talk to Guy.
Story.
Maybe I'll have him on next time.
Yeah.
No. Well, I want to. Guy, I want you on. All right. Think about it. See you later.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Guy. Thank you, Guy. Thanks, Guy. Hey. Thanks, Wayne. Wait, what?
I identify as a guy, so you're okay.
I was correct. Yeah. Thanks for clarifying.
Yep. All right.
Mr. He, him. Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
I am marked safe from Budweiser. So.
You what?
You know how on Facebook they always put that marked safe from COVID?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Marked safe from Budweiser. Bud Light.
Duly noted. Take care, Wayne.
Right, have a good night.
See you, man. Bye. That was so much fun. He is. He's great. He's a great guy, and he's got a great story. And I think he was taken, him and his wife. Yeah, they don't know it, but they have probably a 4-year-old kid out there, 5-year-old, looking like he's balding, but it's just a hybrid. But kind of looks like Wayne, maybe looks like a little like Michelle, but has really thin, gangly arms and legs. Very athletic and extremely smart for some reasons. Already doing 12th grade math and is not even in kindergarten yet. I'm kidding. I'm joking around. He's got a kid out there somewhere, and the aliens did it. They did it that night. Mark my words. Hey, they did it to me and my wife. Yeah, I guarantee it. Well, what do you think it's? I'll be in your head before you wake up. Of course you will. You're going to bang my wife. That's not really cool. Alien me banging my wife. What is alien me going to do? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm also on Wayne's channel. Sorry. All right, I'll let you guys go for the night. Thank you very much. We'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. What is tomorrow? Thursday? I wish I could take tomorrow off. And thank you, moderators and super chatters. What great support again. I can't thank you. There isn't enough. So I won't. No, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And thank you, newcomers and veterans, sharing the show, the chat, being smooth, being funny, and being productive. And we do it here every night. Truthology for ufology. Is it getting old? All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Alien bless.
There's like this thing. It's rotating. What was in the skies over Jerusalem, and why did it sound like one of the most treasured sites in Christianity?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your soul.